went?
I thought it was a good day. You know, there's a lot of guys that are new to the situation, a lot of guys who are joining the fold, and certainly there was a lot of hard work. We tried to keep things simple in terms of the detail and the systematic areas. Tried to work on some fundamentals, and guys really, they stuck to that. Had some players do double duty with a couple practices, and they did a good job with that.
Do you plan on doing scrimmage as a bunch, or was that something to kind of, well, you're putting everything in place, see what everyone's got?
Well, we're putting everything in place. That's something that the 4-on-4 and 3-on-3 format is something that we'll encounter this year, so it's certainly an area that we need to be sharp in. But at the same time, this is the first day of camp, so we want guys to stretch their legs out a little bit. We, want to make sure that we get them to feel the puck and get a lot of time to sort of let their skills settle in. So as a result, 3-on-3, 4-on-4 gives us a lot of ice to do that.
What do you look to get out of, the first couple of days of training camp are kind of such a hodgepodge of figuring everyone out. What do you look for in the first couple of days specifically?
We're looking for guys that can, take direction in terms of that detail that we want. There's some non-negotiables, so to speak, in terms of the way we play. And rather than putting a lot of systematic sort of burden on them mentally, we want to just let them play, but we'll give them direction and see how they follow through in the respective different areas where we're really trying to be very sharp on the little things. So we'll see how they handle that. We'll see how they handle things like different situations when it comes to body language, work ethic, overall skill, of course, throughout the drills, and just try to get as much of an eye on them as we can.
What are those non-negotiables for you?
Well, there's a fairly long list, but when you talk about your work away from the puck, how hard you work defensively, and we understand that guys are going to make mistakes, but they can't ever let up in their work ethic. When we talk about the offensive side of things, where we end up on the play, do we stay at the net, how we manage the puck and how we possess it, how we support it. So there's things that I wouldn't classify as systematic, but I would certainly classify that require a lot of hockey sense, and they require that mental processing, and that guys got to really stick with it. And it's been a long summer for some guys, so all of a sudden they have a lot to do in that area.
What's it like kind of figuring everyone out? This is the first time you've really spent seeing most of these players, and you kind of, is there an element of also putting faces to names and kind of keeping everyone straight and as they're meeting each other, like all that kind of stuff? It's not like you're coming from development camp here.
Yeah, definitely. This is there's so many new faces here. So part of the last 24 hours has just been getting to know the guys, reintroducing myself to the guys, making sure that I'm getting people straight, looking at my sheet, understanding who everyone is, because we have a lot of faces we've never seen before, and we want to give everyone a really good shot at this and then try to give them a solid evaluation. So as a result, we are doing sort of in a process of discovery, and at the same time, we've got to move forward every day. So it's a little bit of a fine line that we walk, but we'll continue to do that tomorrow, and we'll gradually work in more systems. But the bottom line is that we need to really see what these guys are all about. So we got to get to know them, and that's got to be first and foremost on our list.
Do you plan on anything kind of off ice to get to know people, who they are and that kind of things, or is that just something that happens, every day, bit by bit?
The off ice side of things will happen bit by bit. We'll spend a lot of time with them in the room and try to find those moments when you can just pull a guy aside and just chat with him a little bit over a coffee and see where his head's at, see where he's coming from, how he feels about thus far in the camp. But as far as away from the rink, we'll let the guys do their thing, and to be honest, when they're gone, our coaching staff is working hard to make sure that we're ready for when they come back, because it really is it's a big group that we have each day, so we have to be really organized for that.